Okay, this is our sensor grill guard here. You can see we've got a additional bar in here that we're going to put in these things if they have sensors. The center sensors we have found you've got to protrude all the way to the front so they don't pick up. We kind of got one started here already. This is a pigtail, what we call the pigtail. You got to have an extension in order to reach from your existing spot to the front of your bar. So we've got pigtails provided in there, and we're going to show you how that's done. You can see we've already removed the sensors out of the truck here. I wanted to kind of show you here, when you're underneath the truck, this is the same end that's plugging into your sensor. That's going to reconnect. There's a little red clip right there that you got to pull back, and then there's a little black plastic spot right there that you got to push down with your thumb. Push down with your thumb, and you're going to pull your sensor out. Underneath the truck, that's what you're going to do, and you're going to take this sensor out, okay? You're going to have a factory housing. This is the factory housing that's in your bumper. We take that factory housing out that's in your bumper there, and you're going to reinsert it right here. You can see that I've got a little black grommet right there where that plastic insert is, and that's what this is right here. We provide that too, and it just keeps that way it keeps the wire from having a metal edge to rub on it. It just rubs in that plastic anyhow. Okay, so we've already done this. I'm going to show you how to put that on here in a minute. When you got that wire harness connected, I'm going to go underneath there, and I'm going to put that sensor back in to your housing there, and then this thing, which I'm going to get down here so I can see it, and it's got to plug in to your sensor. So I just plugged that in. I pushed that little red clip back in I just showed you, and that is how you're going to put your sensor back in. You can push that extra wire up inside the bumper, and when you get done with all this, then you're going to get up underneath there, and you're going to tie the wire so it's not all flopping around up underneath there. But any excess wire, you're going to go ahead and tape, zip tie, whatever you want to do. This is the little rubber grommet I was talking that we closed in. See, this hole has not been closed in. You don't have a whole lot of slop. This is why we have to have the extensions. You don't have a whole lot of slop to play with to bring it forward to go to the sensors. So that's why we've done that little pigtail extension. I put that over there. I kind of found it. It's better. It's got a little ring that's going to go. That's where your chrome bumper is going to go, is in that ring. I kind of found it easier if you do the bottom first. Get that seated. You kind of slowly work it around, and it pops into place just like that. Okay. Your sensor wires. You got a black, you got a green, and you got a yellow. What I do is I pull that little end up like that until you're looking at that little red tab that goes in and out. To unplug, it's facing down and it's to you, and you lay it down, and we are going from left to right. Black, green, and then yellow is the color coordination that you need to put that in there. I'm going to grab me a piece of tape, and I'm going to, what I do, everybody's going to do it different. You can use the roll too, but that little tail's not very long, and I got fat fingers, and sometimes it's hard for me to get in there and keep everything straight. These little pins here, black, green, yellow, left to right, again, okay? They're going to put them in the little spot, there's a little spot for the pins like the little sensor was going to have. I should have showed you. They got 3 little pins in there. I didn't show you that. They got 3 little pins. Well, that's what these things are, is little pins. They go in there not real tight, so you got to kind of be a little careful to hold them in there like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of tape, and you got to do each one individually because you don't want those little pins touching each other once they're in there. So what I've done, and you may find your own trick, everybody does things a little different. I put one wrap around it, and I made sure my tape was all the way in. And then I did my green. This is your next one. And then I took my tape again, and I put another wrap. Again, you gotta make sure your tape's all the way forward so your pins don't touch each other bare. You've got to have that tape in between. And then I'm going to do my yellow. My eyeballs don't see quite as good as they used to, so There we go. Black, green, yellow. And then I'm going to tape that up again. I say you got to kind of keep pressure in. You don't want them pins pulling out, because they can if you pull them straight out. And I'm going to tape that back. What I'm trying to do is I'm going to use the roll here in a minute too. I'm trying to keep, by doing that, I'm trying to keep pressure forward so those pins will not go out. Once you get that, then you can probably take your roll and do it again. You know, that little pigtail is pretty small, so I'm going to probably do it with another piece of tape. I'll make some rounds again. So you can do it however you want. You might be able to get that roll to work for you. Go around it again, keep it tight. And then I am going to stretch it to the front again in order to keep pressure with those pins going to the front or into that other connector. You don't want them pins pulling out. And once you got that, I kind of taped, I didn't show you what I did there. I kind of taped, I pulled that loom back a little bit, and then I put a little piece of tape there, and it just made it easier for me to keep them, work with the wires instead of that loom getting in my way. Once you've got that done, you can pull your tape back off and your loom can go back up over there like that. Or you can tape your wires up too. That's probably the best thing to do. Now you can probably take your roll. What I would like to do is tape that end to where no water or dirt or anything can get inside that end of that connector. There we go. We're going to tape back on our wires just a little bit. And then I would catch that loom. Just like that, and those wires should stay in there. Then again, you just want to make sure that you got that tape up front to put pressure forward into your connector. And once you've done that, you're just going to push that little guy down in there. If you don't put too much tape on it like I might have done, makes it a little snugger. There you go, pops in there. And we are going to push that in there just like we did the other one. And you can see I've got the sensor in on this one already. I already put the sensor in on there, and I'm going to get up underneath again, and I am going to reconnect my sensor. Red thing in, make sure everything's seated good. And that is how you wire your sensors. Again, you just hold that one plug up and rewatch it if you have to. You got to make sure your wires are in the right order, black, green, yellow. And get up underneath there and tape up your sensor wires and that so they're not flopping around. And that is how you wire the sensors on your sensor grill guard on here. Again, this is put on there mainly because you have to bring your sensors all the way forward. You can see how flush we have it here. We found if it sticks out any at all, the sensors will pick it up. And then you're good to go.